Hello and thanks for watching another episode of ARFCOM News, your twice-weekly dose of the finest 2A propaganda. Y'all hear the latest from Weekend at Bernie's?
It made it harder for people to buy stabilized braces. Put a pistol on a brace, it turns into a gun. Makes it more, you can have a higher caliber weapon, a higher caliber bullet coming out of that gun.
You know, you could use a little sun.
He's dead.
That's the idea, isn't it? Cheers.
All right, let's review. If you put a pistol on a brace, it turns into a gun and also allows it to fire a higher caliber bullet or weapon. He's not sure. Folks, I don't pretend to be some sort of political prognosticator, and you know we don't really do party politics here, but I can't help but point out how the GOP could run a wet bag of sand against this guy and win at this point.
All right. God save the Queen, man.
What do you think? Is Biden even going to be on the ticket?
Talk amongst yourselves.
But it would be impossible for us to produce quality 2A propaganda without sponsors. So before we get to why the IRS is seizing thousands of gun sale records, let's pay some bills. Today's video is sponsored by TNVC.com, your source for good old-fashioned all-American night vision, just like Mom used to make.
If you like seeing stuff more than not seeing stuff, take a look at our sponsor, TNVC.com, your source for quality night vision gear to make you the bump in the night.
And by Gunstruction, it's like specking out your build in Call of Duty or Battlefield, except every part exists in the real world and it can tell you how much it will weigh and what it will cost you when you're done. Links in the doobly-doo. Well, it's the IRS, so it's not much of a spoiler to say it's going to be about taxes. They accuse Tom Van Hoos, owner of Highwood Creek Outfitters in Great Falls, Montana, of underreporting income from sales. So 20 armed agents showed up with a warrant and took every 4473 in the building. Now, on the face of it, yeah, those 4473 forms, which are filled out every time there is a sale, should have a 1-to-1 correlation with his reported sales. And if he was hiding income from the IRS, he still probably wouldn't risk losing his FFL by destroying 4473s. Why did they make off with decades worth of boxes of these forms? And for that matter, the Montana Attorney General, Austin Knudsen, pointed out the search warrant was limited to only financial records, and 4473s are not financial records, so he speculated this might just be part of the overall effort by the feds to scrape data from physical 4473s into their illegal searchable gun registry. Something smells funny here, so U.S. Representative Matt Rosendale sent a public letter to ATF Director Stevie Diedelbach demanding answers. If he gets any, we'll let you know. Shardaya Hardin says she ordered some food off Uber Eats but fell asleep after waiting 2 hours and woke up to someone beating on her door.
On my fucking door. Bye. You do not touch nobody's fucking door. Bye. You just tried to open my door. You an Uber driver delivering food. No, you tried to open my motherfucking door. If I should have got the shooting through the door on your motherfucking ass.
Do you think Ms. Hardin overreacted? Bear in mind, it doesn't look like this dude is holding any food, and she says he tried pushing in through the door. A 20-year-old homeless man in Texas was staying with his friend's aunt for a couple of days, and she kicked him out while he was away at a funeral. Classy lady. When he came back to find his things packed up in the garage, he texted her to ask if he could get a gun back that he left in her house, and she called the cops.
I'm a retired police officer.
Okay.
Definitely would like for you to run him.
Cops go up to her bedroom, find the gun, and hilariously attempt to figure out if it is legal for this man to have it. They're also confused about whether the gun is in a legal configuration, and the officers seem to have no idea about how old you need to be to own a rifle or a pistol in Texas.
So I go upstairs, I, detain the guy, put him in the back, go upstairs, and I find like this super short barrel rifle with the buttstock, got like the straight back buttstock, you know what I mean? Like kind of like a pool stick. I forgot the name of it.
The young man had no warrants, and the firearm was not stolen. No one was hurt, but this really nice old lady just wanted to see this man catch a case. So the officer talks to several people over the phone, which aren't identified, but I have to assume are fellow cops because the ATF doesn't answer his calls anymore.
It just looks like, he took the upper off, he changed the upper out with this gun, with this receiver.
They can't change out receivers. They can, but if they do, if they change from this receiver to that receiver, they're gonna have to have a tax stamp and all that other stuff.
So I tried to call the ATF. I ain't getting no answer. So I was like, let me call around and see if anybody knows.
After much deliberation and a FaceTime video with the other officers, they decide it is illegal to swap uppers without a tax stamp and arrest the man for possession of a prohibited weapon. But here's the really messed up part. That gun is an NFA device, at least in the opinion of the ATF, but not for the reasons these guys were fumbling about. Now the ATF says adding a vertical foregrip to a pistol makes it an AOW because it's designed to be held with two hands, because ATF agents never use two hands on their pistols. But the officers never mentioned the vertical grip. The arresting officer refers to the buffer tube as a straight back buttstock. And I'm pretty sure that's where it all went off the rails. He thinks it's a buttstock. It's not. If it actually was a stock, then yeah, would indeed be a short-barreled rifle, except it's very clearly a straight buffer tube wrapped with like paracord or something, and I think there's even a sling swivel on the end. It is not a stock, and you cannot attach a stock to this buffer tube. It is very definitely not an unregistered short barrel rifle, but it might be considered an AOW. They accidentally arrested him for the right offense. Does that make this man a bad person? Of course not. The only thing he's guilty of is being unaware of an arcane bureaucratic rule passed by unelected bureaucrats. That's what's so jacked up about gun laws in the first place, is the police who arrested him don't even have a clue what the law actually is. But unfortunately for this guy, by the time he sees a courtroom, the lawyers will have figured out what to charge him with.
I'm Batman.
A masked man in West Virginia tied up 4 burglars and shot out the tires of their ATV and their pickup, then called 911 to schedule a trash pickup. He was gone when Kanawha County Sheriff deputies arrived, but they found 4 people tied up on the ground along with stolen items from a nearby cabin in their vehicle. The owner of the cabin came by to talk to investigators and advised the cabin had been unoccupied, and the deputies believed the owner was not the man who tied up the 4 crooks. Now, the deputies just have no idea who the man was, but I get the feeling finding him isn't real high on their list of priorities. Did he do the right thing? Comment below.
Absolutely.
Was it legal? I don't know. State laws vary, but you can generally threaten, force, and detain a person who has committed serious crimes. But what you're supposed to do is to arrest them and, hand them over to police, not just pop smoke and abandon them to their fate. And it might be hard to legally articulate a justification for shooting the tires, even though it seems perfectly reasonable to me. What do you folks think? And now for your moment of Zen. Hey friend, do you like pews and other pew-related things? Do you want to help us keep delivering you pure, uncut American pew propaganda at the low, low price of free fitting? We literally couldn't pay the bills without our sponsor, so do us a solid and get yourself something nice from tnvc.com. You deserve it. I love you.